Extraterrestrial, like a extraterrestrial, extraterrestrial.
Doctor?
Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial, 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 extraterrestrial. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial, 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 like a extraterrestrial, extraterrestrial. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial, 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 extraterrestrial. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial, 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 like a extraterrestrial, extraterrestrial.
Doctor?
Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial, 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 extraterrestrial. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial, 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 extraterrestrial.
Let's get started with the show. Black men delete black boys too. Now, like I said, I don't mind people coming at other people's talking points, other people's stances. Totally get it. My whole thing is, if you're going to get at somebody, you better make sure your hands are clean first. So, how did this talking point originated? To my knowledge, Cynthia G, who is no longer on YouTube. She's on Patreon. She started with the idea of deleting black boys. Now, me, I'm not a victim of clips. So, although I heard it, I need full context on what she was saying, and I couldn't get that. Now, two people that I trust in this space, Callie Bev and Venus. Those two told me what she meant by that. And the context is, if you having their, I'm going to paraphrase by using certain verbiage that they would use, because Lord knows I don't use this word. If you're dealing with a bandit and you have a baby by a bandit, you should delete the baby. Now, in further context, if it's a boy, it's going to grow up to be like the father. So definitely delete it. Whereas a girl, you keep the baby. Now, although I still don't agree with that talking point, I don't agree with deletion in the slightest of forms, I understand now where she's coming from. I don't agree with it. Let me make that perfectly clear. But now I got context of why she said what she said. Okay, now that makes more sense now. Don't agree with it. Not condoning it, not even a little bit. So move forward with that. Recently, in our space, a few weeks ago, they got, well, at least a few weeks ago, they got on PH Diva, who have adopted the same talking points. And according to what we know, she has, well, we'll get into that later. And a lot of people try to hold her accountable, try to get in her ass. Now, keep in mind, you need to be careful when you come at PH Diva. You can't come at her softly with any type of this usual stuff that you guys do, like half speed or at most half speed, maybe a quarter speed. PhD is coming from your head. She usually knows what she's talking about. I like PhD, I respect her. And the couple times we had a respectful back and forth, hey, she knows her stuff. I know mine, and her and I came to agreement. That's why I have zero problems with her. Now, with this whole idea about her deleting black boys, I have to sit back and just think about this and process everything. Because they say she doesn't have any kids. I don't know how old she is. If she's not around my age, she might be a little bit older, and I'm being respectful when I say that because I don't want to disrespect her. A woman around my age range who has no children, or maybe a bit older, is a plus. Because as much as men talk about they don't want to be stepfathers in this space. Now I debunked that stupid shit a long time ago. As much as they say they don't want to be stepfathers, you actually have a woman who has no baby and you proceeded to shame them. That made no damn sense. You guys don't know what you want and you guys say the most stupidest of shits. Because when it comes to deletions, that's a form of prevention. That's a form of prevention, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I was thinking about how do I want to do this episode? Do I want to just do a regular episode or do I want to do a talking point debunk? Let's see where this goes first. Let's get the definition of prevention. To keep, it's a verb, to keep from occurring, avert, hinder. Sentence, he intervened to prevent bloodshed. Second definition, to hinder or stop us from doing something. Sentence, there is nothing to prevent us from going. I know. I know. Wait a minute, it's a child by a white man that let them picture that. Oh, that part I did not know. I didn't know it was a white man. I know she had a baby with the man that she preached against. Now, that I'm aware of. White guy, I never knew that. Never knew that. You learn something new every day. So shout out to God, boy. So, if you guys look at the bottom ticker, that's the definition of prevent. The verb, first definition, second definition. That's where we're going to go with this. So, would it be deletion? Well, as in right now, deletion is a form of prevention. We'll get to hold on to that definition because we are not done. And you guys know my ideology on this topic, and just like it was for the past weeks now. Christian, child of God, believer of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So, now that we all know where I'm going, what bubble I'm working in, because y'all gonna say, with you being a believer, abortion is a sin. Okay, hold on, we're not done yet. Let's continue. Now, my thought process on this is real simple. Assuming that black women are preventing the birth of a black boy, I can expose how black men are doing the exact same thing. Now y'all about to get uncomfortable. Men will go to such lengths to see that a child that they did not fully plan for does not make its way into this world. There are many contraceptions that men partake to avoid the responsibilities paying approximately $311,000 for the first 18 years of a child's life. That's a Washington Post article, by the way. This is not a black woman problem. This is a lack of education and a lack of an understanding going on within the space. That's my thought process with this whole situation. Before we get to the principles and the value system, because I'm gonna leave that thought process up there. Bottom tick, I'm gonna leave that right there. So, Chris, with all this information, where are you going with this? Well, I said I wasn't gonna do it, but let's do it. Let's do a talking point debunk, because we're talking about women deleting black boys. Now, I want to make this perfectly clear, ladies and gentlemen. There's three trimesters that women go through. I almost say trimester, Jesus Christ. There's 3 trimesters that women go through. The first one, the second one, third one. The first one is 13 weeks. Then you add another 13, then you add another 13. That's all going to add up to 9 months eventually. Well, technically 10 months, because that's really how long a woman's supposed to be pregnant is 10 months, but in most cases, they're going to have it in 9. So I'm just telling you what I know. So, first trimester. Jesus, I knew I was going to say that word. First trimester is when the most abortion happens, which is 91%, according to the CDC. And the I'm not pronouncing that. It starts with the R. Is another credible source. 91% of deletions happen in the first trimester. That goes without saying. Now, if you guys know my take and my stance on when it comes to talking points and stats, you already know we just debunked a stat within the first trimester. Because I need at least 30% of what you're saying to be worth the conversation. 91% of the deletions take place in the first trimester. That's CDC. So your talking point is technically on the low. Your talking point is already debunked right there. But let's keep going. Let's actually skip the second trimester and let's get to the first one, to the last one. Is anybody really gonna commit a deletion when the baby's over here? No, only 1% of that. That's only 1% happens in the third trimester. So you got 91% for the first trimester. You got 1% for the third trimester. So that leaves the second trimester, which is where everybody's talking about. Now, why do I bring up the second trimester? Well, let's see. They said they delete black boys. If they find out it's a boy, it's being deleted. Okay, let's test that theory. To find out the gender of the baby, those results won't be produced until 18 to 22 weeks. Keep that in mind. 18 to 22 weeks is when you will find out the gender of the baby. 8% of abortions occur between 14 and 20 weeks. Did you guys just hear what I said? Think about what I just said. 8% of abortions happen between the weeks of 14 and 20. You will not find out the sex of that baby until 2 weeks after. Just on the numbers alone, that talking point is debunked. I don't know when Cynthia G stated that talking point. I don't remember. I don't know, to be honest. Think about that. From all the way back then, all the way to now. You guys are in an upward over 8%. 8% Do I agree with deletions? No, I don't. I do not. Yes, there's exceptions to the rule. I get it and I understand. But this is not the exception. Nobody got R word. Nobody engaged in incest, and the mother's health is not declining. %, y'all. 8%. Matter of fact, those three exceptions are in single digits combined, meaning less than 10% of people that get a deletion is pertaining to the mother's health, rape, and incest. And I just told you guys 8% of deletions take place in the second trimester. Did a guy like me have to come on YouTube to expose this? I mean, I thought I'm dealing with these. I can't even call them geniuses at this point. I won't even insult the geniuses to call them that. This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to say 30% of deletions took place in the second trimester, let's have the conversation. But then again, keep in mind, you're not going to find out the sex of the baby until you hit 18 weeks. So how many months is that? What, 4, 8, 12, 16? That's 4.5 months. That's when you're going to find out the sex of the baby, or possibly 5.5 months. And people are getting deletions before then, before they even find out the sex of the child. So that in of itself is debunked. Now let's continue to move on with this goofy shit. Where's my? There we go. So now that we debunked that talking point, let's still address the fellas. Now, why am I calling the fellas to the carpet? Because you say they're deleting black boys. If they're getting a deletion, they don't care what the sex of the baby is. They don't care if it's a boy, girl, or undecided. It's getting out of here. Because there's no way you're going to tell me that a person has enough sense and wherewithal to take care of a girl, but they say, no, I can't take care of a boy. No, I can't take care of any child at all. I'm not even going to wait. That's why most of the deletions take place in the first trimester, because they said, oh no, I don't care what it is. I cannot do it. I don't agree with that. Christopher J does not agree with that, but they get rid of that problem before they even know the sex of the child. But since, fellas, you want to really be on this catalyst for children's life, the baby's life that's not here, sure, I'll meet you there. And I totally agree with you. Because I don't believe in deleting black boys or girls. I don't believe in deleting any kids, as I stated earlier. So, let's go there. For those who believe black boys should not be deleted, I'm pretty sure you believe that black girls should not be deleted as well. I think that goes without saying. So, with that being said, no more contraception. No more. No more contraception. What do you mean? When it comes to hormonal methods, because for the women that also believe this too, what that mean? No implants, no IUDs, no injections, no pills, no vaginal rings, no skin patches, none of that. What about the barrier methods? No external condoms, no internal condoms, diaphragms, cervical caps, none of that. What about sterilization? Tubal ligation or vasectomy? Get rid of all of it. Get rid of all of it. Now, some people are going to say, well, I don't use none of those anyways. I raw dog because I'm a firm believer. Go raw, don't go at all. I totally agree. That means when you're in her, leave it in. Don't tell her to swallow. And if you tell her, if you try to put it in that other hole, you're just different. But don't put it there neither. So the next time you do engage in sexual activities, leave it in. Don't pull out. If you're all for bringing all the black boys and bringing all the black girls into this world, I say bring them. All of them. Don't stop what you're doing. Just get rid of all the preventive measures that will make sure that there's no kid that brought into the world. If you really believe that deleting children, black boys in this concept is a problem, then I say, okay, let's solve the problem. Bring them all in. And just get rid of all the contraceptives. Get rid of all of it. Oh, so y'all don't want, I'm assuming a lot of people don't want to do that. But don't worry. What does I got Bible on it? And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl in the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. That's Genesis chapter 1, verse 28. Let's go to Leviticus 26, verse 9. For I will have respect unto you and make you fruitful and multiply you and establish my covenant with you. Let's try Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 3. And I will gather the remainers of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. Now, with all of that being said, I think Matthew chapter 23, verse 27 and 28 might hit home. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye are like unto witted specular, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of uncleanness. Even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquities. Now, that last verse is for the brothers. The first three verses, be fruitful and multiply. Just multiple verses in the Bible. That's saying, get rid of all these condoms, get rid of all this stuff, because that prevents you from multiplying. But the last verse is like, you guys are getting on women in this space about deleting black boys, but you delete black children as well. That's why we're having this conversation. You're doing the exact same thing that they're doing. Now, let's just say they're keeping it to boys, which we are proof is bullshit. You're deleting any child that is tied to you. That's my problem. And if I am a liar, prove me to be a liar. The next time you have sex with that chick and she agrees to it, because consent matters, leave it in. Don't pull out. No mouth, and definitely not that other hoe. Like I said, you guys are different. Leave it in. You say you're here for black boys, which means you're here for black children. Leave it in. So how much are you guys for this talking point now? Black women deleting black boys. Men, you do it too. You prevent kids from coming into this world just as much as they do. Or you play a 50-50 part in them not coming into this world as well. What's the principle? If you are all in, be fully invested. If you are all in, be fully invested. You want to save the black children? Bring the black, and you want to stop these deletions? Bring them in. Bring them all in. If you're all in, be fully invested, so your words align with your actions, and your verbiage can never be used against you. So, fellas, what you want to do? Are you still going to be on this high horse regarding black women deleting black boys at a high rate or whatever rate? Or are you going to be the person that says, you know what? I don't believe in deletion at all. I don't believe in robbing the child the right to be in this world. So let's let them all in. It's up to you, fellas. I promise it's up to you. Take a break and let me get in the chat real quick. Talk to my people. So black men putting hits out on babies, not black men hiring hitmen on babies in the womb. Wait. What? So black men. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I was like, Jesus Christ, I didn't know where you're going, man. I have no whereabouts of what they are doing. All I know is if it's loud enough, I'll hear it. But if it's not loud, it's not important. The uproar is she said black women to stop birthing your problems, referring to black males. I don't think people actually said black women are doing it. With the that's for the Cynthia G. We get Cynthia G, and somebody gave me the context of Cynthia G. Now I get it, and now but unfortunately from there, which birthed the a group of women that said delete all. Well, the narrative of delete all black boys. Now, and that has came back up into space, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna give you guys time to figure this out, which they haven't. So I had to make sure that we cover that part. But you're absolutely right on that one. They are deleting black babies, whether boy or girl. Thank you. All biracial, as we can see with Fresh and Fit. They don't make it to the doctor's appointment to know anything about the baby, let alone sex. So they can't say it got to do with sex of the baby. I will. That's a strong point. I don't know about that one. Maybe. And the details I am getting from the fellas, not the ladies speaking on the fellas. The fellas themselves. Okay. Okay. Cool. Eh, Wait. What? What goes on? Don't tell her to swallow. Don't pull out, and don't do no butt plug. I'm just saying, if we're really talking about bringing children into this world, there's it has been historically proven there's only one way to do it. Don't pull out. Leave it in the vagina. Because anytime you pull out, you just prevented a black boy or black girl from coming into this world. Every single time you pull out. That's one less black boy and that's one less black girl that could have made a contribution to this planet. Well, in this country, women have the final say unless the guy does something illegal to the woman. Now, and I said that earlier in Talking Point Debunk, 91% of deletion take place in the first trimester. Second trimester is only 8%, which is where this talking point generated from. And of course, third trimester is 1%. Yes, a woman's body and a woman's choice. If she's single, especially if she's single. I've always stated that. Ladies, your bodies, your choice, you have to make the proper decisions with your body, and especially who comes in and what comes out. That I've always say. No condoms. If we're talking about bringing children into this world and preventing deletions, get rid of condoms, all of it. Internal, external, all anything that prevents the child from coming to the world, get rid of all of it. All of it got to go. Bring them all in then. Or if you're not for that idea, stop getting on other people for doing the same thing that you're doing, just in another way. Keep the same energy. That's my take on that. You just gotta pay the cost to be the boss. I guess OG's in the building. Bolo, good morning, good morning, good morning. Where we at? No, there isn't that. No, there isn't that option. No court is going to force a woman to transplant a baby, but it's a interesting concept. Hmm. You know what? What time is it? We got time. Copy. Um, I will open the panel up because we're gonna do one more topic, then we gotta go. If if black men are taking out their babies through abort requests, then black men are putting contract hits out on the babies in the wombs. That is a fair that's a fair statement. That's 100% fair. Sharon is in the building. What's good, man? How you feeling? Brittany B, good morning. If women have the final say, why not men take the first say? Duh, that is fair. That is 1,000% correct. I have no problem with that at all. Fellas, just think about what she said. If women have the final say so on their body, make the first decision and determine is this a situation you really want to be a part of? Is this something you want to be entwined with? I agree. I have no takes. I have nothing for that. I'm reading out of order. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Keep hashtag keep the same energy. No contraceptive. Yep. Yes. All right. That. So yeah, the link is. Let me pin the link. All right, the link is pinned, and all right. So if anybody has any takes on this, because I'm not running from anything, but the door, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack on it, but the door is always open. I'm not running from anything. I stand by what I said. The principle: if you're fellas, if you're all in, be invested, so your words align with your actions, and your verbiage can never be used against you. OG is in the building. Cowboy, what's good, man? How you feeling?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Not much, man. It's just like I can only wait so long for people to realize that while you're pointing a finger at other people, three are pointing right back at you. So it's like, all right, you guys are getting on my nerves. So I had to say something.
So, I mean, where'd this come about? Was that because of the fresh and fit thing, or
No, no, no. I don't.
just dudes talking in general?
No, no. People in this space talking general. Fresh and fit, I can care less. This started a few weeks ago. Matter of fact, salute to Sharon. They was getting at one of his panelists that's tied to the show, PhD Diva, because this got brought back up, and my taking on it is okay. She elected not to bring a child into the world. I'm not saying she got a deletion because we can't confirm or deny that. But I will say is this: if that's her stance, that she don't want to bring any child into this world, cool. Because we already said only 8% of deletions take place in the second trimester, and you're not gonna find out the sex of the baby till maybe like weeks after that. So my
I'm
take is,
I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I mean,
go ahead.
this is what I've heard, and I didn't check the stats on it, but what I hear, women in our community are not the ones who are getting abortions like that. They never were.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it was just like kind of, even when they overturned, Roe versus Wade, and I was on Clubhouse when I heard black women complaining, I'm like, you guys are not the ones running to the clinic.
Right.
So most of our women are having their babies, so it's not even something for us to talk about, really.
Yeah, I already told them, like I told black women, this
I
ain't
mean,
got
that's my
shit to
take
do
on
with
it.
y'all. I said this literally ain't got shit to do with y'all, but y'all made it about yourselves. Get back.
So
But
I mean, I guess we have our kids, and for whatever reason, and we probably think it's gonna work out, doesn't work out, whatever's going on. But you know, um, now there are those that are, man. I remember, I think it was a football player or something. They caught him trying to sneak into Mexico. This is years ago, and he had killed, a woman because she was pregnant with his child. And I'm like, Jesus, was it that bad? That he
it
killed
ain't
this
never
woman,
that bad.
and then they caught this dude in the trunk of a car and trying to get into Mexico. Like, really? Like, what was your plan after that, buddy? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it's never that bad, But you know, it's it's not the it's rare, but it does happen where, like when I was talking about, people doing something illegal, men doing something illegal to a woman to force an abortion. Not all abortions are done inside of clinics.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. And the ones that's even more scary. That's even more worse. The fact that we're only going by the numbers that are presented. Like I tell people, what's the number? 43 million since 1973. And I know percentage wise how much of that is black women. But one thing I will tell people this with this conversation, I still say this really got nothing to do with black women because the numbers since 1973 is it's a bit much. I won't reveal what it is, but it's a bit much. But you want to go in the last maybe year or two or whatever with the deletions going on, and how many of that is tied to black women? 8% in the second trimester is just fine. I think they'll be just fine. Like I said, I don't agree with deletions at all because we all know most of this stuff take place in the first trimester. No one's trying to figure out what the sex of the baby is. They just want the baby out of them. So knowing that, this talking point should not be a thing at all. Like if PhD Diva, if that the way I see it now is, I don't know if she did. I'm gonna assume she didn't because I'm not gonna put no abortion title on anybody. But the way I see it is, if she elect not to bring a child into this world, boy or girl, salute to her. And the fact that she's being shamed for it is wild.
Mm, I don't know. Those are tough decisions. People act like it's easy. They act like it's easy for a woman to go run to a clinic and do that. And a lot of times, if you look at the stats, women who have abortions, they usually get pregnant again soon after and have the baby. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So yeah, sometimes people make a big deal about nothing. I mean, as far as like women who would like using abortions as a form of birth control, those numbers are low too. It's not a lot of them. And that's in any ethnic group. So I don't know. Most of us are having babies out here, man. you
Yeah.
know. But I'm a big fan of condoms, and I don't understand, you know, why there's like it seems like there's two generations that don't know a damn thing about condoms. People are talking about the pull-out method. And like last time I checked, you can't pull out from AIDS. So like, where's your condom at?
Woo!
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I, as guys, Generation X, man, it was always, strap up. And when we were talking about strapping up, it wasn't because we are worried about babies. We are worried about diseases. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And everybody just doing whatever they want to do, like they get an all cure pill or something. I don't know, man. It's wild out here.
Yeah, I agree. But the whole thing is, if you are getting on, obviously not you, obviously, but if the men on this space, if you're trying to condemn women for deleting a child and shaming them for deleting a child, I would say keep the same energy and get rid of all the condoms, get rid of all the IUDs, all this stuff. But then again, I have to be honest, and my friend said this, and she's absolutely correct. This is just another way to either shame or pressure women into having sex with men, because
Wait a minute.
this,
Explain that to me. How would so shaming a woman for having an abortion? How would that pressure them into
uh,
having sex with
well,
you,
no,
though?
no, no, the people in this space, they're looking, what they're doing is throwing mud at the wall to see what sticks. And this is just another thing that's not gonna stick, and that's not gonna hold weight, because when you see the people, I'm not gonna say their names because they're not important, but when you see the people that are constantly doing this flag and saying, no, you're going to have this baby, you're going to, and if you get rid of the baby, I'm gonna shame you back into having another baby, so you could just to set them up, just to give up the box. There, this is things that I've seen for myself, and when I pick up how people operate in this space, it's like, whoa, you guys are wild. So this is another attempt for them to throw mud at the wall. I know it seems like a stretch, but because they are doing that, that's why I do shows like this. Like what you guys say is not holding any weight. We got some predators in this space. I won't go in details who they are or how they operate, but we do got some predators in this space.
You think?
Hey man,
Oh man, I don't be on Clubhouse no more, man. These dudes are
Uh,
wild, man.
Clubhouse, yeah, in Clubhouse, I don't. Oh, I'll put it like this: Clubhouse gets some of their talking points from YouTube, and usually it goes on from there. And I stay out the way. Like House Husbands originated from YouTube. Matter of fact, I know the content creator who originated from that made his way to Clubhouse. So
Wait a minute, house husbands origin, man. I've been talking. I used to talk about being a house husband on Clubhouse. What you mean? Because these feminists would talk all this trash, and I'm just like, okay, let me be a house husband. You go out there and make that money. Oh, they never. All the mics stay on mute. Everybody gets silent. Then it's like, what happened? All these women making all this money. Where's all the bravado? No, you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, shoot. Men raise it.
uh,
Men are better with the children. We're better cooks. You know, we're already at the house, so anything goes down, she knows when she gets home. Husband's already there to defend her. It's a perfect game. But these women don't want to work, I guess. You
You
know.
know what? I did forget that you did say that. I forgot you did say that. God damn. Whose room was in? It wasn't King's room. I forgot what room was in, but you did say that. You was absolutely correct. You was absolutely